was for me to walk into the people's house, and as I was coming those stairs, I was listening to your chants. So, we're proud to stand with workers here in Iowa who are making their voices heard because they can't support their families and they're deciding to speak out. And they've done this for a long time now. I'm here because I support a minimum wage of $15 an hour and union rights. I am fully convinced that any person who works full-time should be able to feed his or her family instead of having to find 2 or 3 jobs. As you know, the Fight for 15 movement has been going on for a while and is spread across the country, and more than 22 million workers have gained raises. That's great. That's good. But there's still work to do here in Iowa.
That's right.
Too many working people, whether fast food workers, whether hospital workers, childcare, home care, airports, and colleges, are paid too little to support their families.
That ain't right.
Paychecks have stayed the same for too long. This hurts families, this hurts communities, and this hurts our economy. When workers have money in their pockets, it's good for the economy and it's good for all of us. People working together side by side can experience the power that they have. You coming here and using your voice makes you feel power. So remember, we all have a voice. We all have power. There's no such thing as voiceless people. There's no such thing as powerless people. And when we come together and work together and stand together, we can accomplish what is best for everyone. So I'm here to introduce you a line of amazing speakers. It is my pleasure to introduce you Sonia Maymayers of Fight for 15 fast food workers.
Today. This is a serious matter. Survivors are struggling and the struggle is real.
That's right, Sonia.
We do not want wishy-washy politicians, anti-worker politicians running our offices and telling us what they're going to do for us unless they're really meaning to do what we want for ourselves.
That's right.
I live in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm 54 years old. I work at McDonald's. And the reason why I work at McDonald's is because I can't afford to pay all my bills. I have to pay for medicines. I have to pay for food. I only get $35 a month for food stamps. That's not enough to live off of. Then my apartment's cold. I pay $127 a month for lights and gas. That's hard.
That is hard.
And thinking that I have to live on food assistance is good, it's not good.
That's
I want to be able to have 15 in the union so I can pay for my own bills and so I can have the right to live like any other American in this country.
That's right.
Governor Reynolds talks about making dreams make our dreams come true and give us 15 in a union.
That's right.
If you want to make leaders, give us money for education. Don't just talk about me about it. Well, that is all I have to say. I thank you for letting me have this time to speak to you.
All right.
The only other thing, vote for Kathy Glosson.
All right.
Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Glosson. failed to do that job. They haven't just failed, they failed miserably. It's unacceptable to us, and the simple truth is that we have 381,000 households and families in this state that work and make less than $20 an hour. And then half of those jobs pay less than $15 an hour. Yet instead of raising wages, and I didn't hear it today in her State of the State address, Kim Reynolds is spent on spending the majority of our year and money giving corporate tax breaks to wealthy folks instead of funding the things we care about, creating good jobs, and cutting public education in favor of giving those tax breaks. We don't need it.
We don't need it.
Minimum wage workers in this state have not seen a raise in over 10 years. But this governor behind this door has the audacity to refuse to raise wages. She actually lowered the minimum wage in counties across this state, literally taking hard-earned money out of the pockets of working Iowans. Iowans know that we must increase the minimum wage to $15,
What that
and we have to
refers
do it
to
fast because working families
some cities and
working
counties
people
pass
can't
minimum
wait
wage
any
ordinances
longer.
which raise their minimum wage
On my first
above
day in
$10
this
an hour,
office,
and she
I
got a
will
law
call on this
passed
General Assembly to pass a minimum wage law to $15 an hour
basically
as its first
make that
order of
illegal
because working Iowans
cities and
understand
counties to
that we need to
have
stand
their
up
own
for
minimum
union
wage
rights
ordinances.
and increase wages in this state. That's right. Reversing the damages and the changes to collective bargaining is a good first step to restoring union rights to 184,000 public employees. But just winning back what we lost is not enough.
That's right.
We need a governor who's going to stand up to corporations and find new ways to make it easier for workers to join a union or an employee association, no matter where you work.
That's right.
It's the only way working people have ever gotten ahead. So today I stand with the fight, and proudly with the fight for 15 in Iowa. Because as a nurse who risked my job to form my union, I know that it's the only way we'll improve the working lives of every single Iowan. And we stand here together. We can raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. We can expand union rights in this state, and we can deliver a better future for Iowans. Let's do it together. Let's rise up. It's our time. I'm Kathy Glosson, and thank you for being here.
Casey Woolman, she's a union member and a hospital worker.
I'm Cassie Logan. I worked as a diet tech and a cook at Greater Regional Medical Center in Creston. In Creston, Iowa for 16 years. I am the president of our union. I love my job, my coworkers, and the patients we serve. But we are committed to providing the best care, but the laws that this government has passed have made it harder for us to have our union, and have working conditions that fairly compensate our commitment to our patients in the hospital. It got even harder last year when they changed the law that attacks public unions and hospital workers, teachers, police officers, and other public employees. Almost 500,000 Iowans are living in poverty and struggling to afford their basic needs because wages are too low.
That's right.
Politicians here in Iowa have been gutting unions and have stripped away workers' rights to join them. Unless workers in Iowa can win a union, corporations and politicians like Governor Reynolds will continue to rig the system and workers will lose. And the number one job of politicians is to improve the standard of living for workers. That starts with raising pay and building stronger unions.
What do you want? And you say 15 and a union. Okay? What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
Okay, say it like you really mean it. What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
So this is about people. We could tell you lots of numbers. We could tell you lots of statistics. We're talking about the lives of human beings.
That's right.
Governor Reynolds in her address said that she cares about children. Now let's take her to her ward. And if she really cares about children, she would understand that it's important that parents have enough money to provide kids with food. Way too many kids go to school hungry in Iowa.
That's right.
So we need 15, right?
That's right.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, say it like you mean it. What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 and a union.
When do you want it?
Now.
Okay, now we're gonna hear from Jack Radlin. He's a CCI Action member. So,
How are y'all doing today? The power that we got right here is we're going to keep building that power, right? All right, as Alejandro said, my name's Jack. I'm a DMAC student and an Iowa CCI Action Fund member. And, over a year ago, almost a year ago, I was here pleading in a public hearing to the state legislator and to Governor Reynolds not to cut the minimum wage ordinance that was going to go into effect to increase wages. Hours before that, I found out that my family had to move again for the 5th time in 6 years. That ain't right. Right? And that's because my mom, who's a single mom of 3 kids, has to work 3 or 2 jobs, low-paying jobs, just to get by. Nobody should have to work that much to just get by, right? Right? And now, it's our families that are struggling because Governor Reynolds is an anti-worker politician. Iowa needs, right? Iowa needs strong unions and a $15 minimum wage, which would allow families like mine to own a home, or for people like my mom to get health care instead of Iowa's disaster of Medicaid, right? But you know, y'all know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of this because I've had it my whole life. It ain't right, and I know you all know that, and that's why we're going to start electing our own people to office, right? Like Kathy Glassman. Because we all know the #1 job of our elected officials is to raise wages and improve the standards of living. And guess what? Kim Reynolds, I think, has failed at that. Y'all think she's failed at that? Anyways, when you fail your job, you get fired, right? It should be the same for Kim Reynolds, and that's what we'll do this November. Movement leaders like Kathy, right? 15 in a union.
15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union. 15 in a union.
You come with your whole self. You march here with your body. So that's why we jump. Because we want to use our whole self to say what we stand for. We are here out of love. We are here because we believe that workers deserve a $15 minimum wage.
That's right.
That's not a luxury. $15 an hour will not take you on vacations around the world. That's the minimum. We're talking about a $200 billion industry when we talk about fast food. We're not asking them to go broke. We're not asking them to lose money. We're just asking them what is fair.
That's right.
And we're going to ask and demand what is fair. And we will not wait for them to hand us what is right. We'll organize and we'll keep working. What do we want?
15 union.
Come on. What do you really want it?
Yes.
What do we want?
15 union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 union.
When do you want it?
Now.
What do you want?
15 union.
When do you want it?
Now.
When?
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 Now.
What do you want?
15 union.
What do you want?
Now.
What do you want?
15 union.
What do you want? That's all right. We'll keep practicing. What do you want?
15 union.
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 Okay, would anybody who's here today would like to share briefly in 30 seconds why are you here? Please come to the center. One by one, not all at the same time. You know, the number one public fear in the United States is public speaking. So, it takes you out of your comfort zone. But if you do it, you'll realize it's not that scary. It's beautiful to be here surrounded by these wonderful human beings. Standing for what is right. So, if you introduce yourself and tell us why you're here.
My name is Paula Egan. I live here in Des Moines, Iowa. Everyone deserves a living wage, and we are going to fight with Kathy to make sure that will happen.
That's right.
Iowa needs a nurse.
Iowa needs a nurse.
Okay, if you're thinking about it and you're like, maybe I should do it, maybe I shouldn't, just go for it. Jump and come up here. Come to the front.
También en español.
Always, yo también siento.
Alright, so my name's Riley. I am a full-time University of Iowa student. I'm a junior, and I'm here because on top of being a full-time student, I have to work 25, 30 hours a week just to make rent. Some months, that's not even enough. And as each generation, each year of students comes in behind me, it's getting harder and harder for them to make ends meet. Iowa students need $15 an hour because Iowa students are Iowa workers.
That's right.
And here in Iowa, we have people who speak English, we have people who speak Spanish, we have people who speak French, we have people who speak many different languages. So we're going to talk some things in Spanish. Vamos a decir algunas cosas en español, porque aquí en Iowa hay muchas personas que también hablan español. Si alguien quiere venir al frente y decir por qué está aquí, por qué apoya la lucha por $15, puede hacerlo ahora. Hay un estudio que dice que en Estados Unidos el miedo más grande de cualquier persona es hablar en público. Pero una vez
what he's
lo
saying
ha
in
hecho, se da cuenta
Spanish
que no
is
es tan difícil, que no es tan
basically
malo,
paraphrasing
que
what he's-
estando rodeado de
paraphrasing
gente
what he said
tan
in English
bonita que
about
está luchando por lo que es correcto,
people
es como un lugar más fácil
have
para
a
hacerlo.
fear of public
Porque va a venir y
speaking,
va a hablar y va a
and some
decir,
people have a
yo
fear of
puedo
public
luchar por
speaking,
15 y nadie le va a
and
decir,
that,
nadie le va a decir, no, eso no es
it's
cierto.
good to speak
Porque
out
estamos en un lugar
to make your
cómodo,
story
en un
heard.
lugar que nos apoya. Si
so
alguien
you
quiere
can
decir
get
algo en
support from
español
those around you.
o en inglés, puede hacerlo.
So I'm here today because I believe that when people come together, we can do anything. We know that when we're in these groups and we're trying and straining our voices one at a time to lift a message, and we've seen here today that when we work together and say the same thing at the same time, our message echoes throughout these halls, and it'll echo throughout Iowa. We all come together, and like little people like Kathy Glosson, who are trying to make Iowa better for everybody. So come together, rise up, use your voice. Together, we can make this happen.
Thank you. Okay, I know somebody out there is itching for coming up in front. Yo sé que hay alguien ahí que quiere venir a hablar. Oh, there you go. I didn't know it was behind me.
I'm Michael McKinley. I live in Southside Des Moines. And I'm here because $15 an hour is the absolute minimum on a full-time job that someone needs in order to be able to make ends meet. It is wrong. It is wrong for anyone working 40 hours a week to not be able to put food on the table, to not be able to pay their rent, to not be able to pay for their health bills, to not be able to pay the exorbitant health care costs that we're all having to pay right now. It is absolutely critical. $15 is the minimum. Actually, if we want to know what a minimum living wage is right now, is closer to $20 an hour. And we keep waiting for this, and we keep waiting for this. If we wait till 2027, as some people have recommended that we do, $15 will be worth about $11 an hour. That's right. At that point. We need to have $15 an hour now. Yes. It absolutely has to happen. It will stimulate the economy in Iowa. It will increase business in Iowa. It will increase the economy for everyone in Iowa. It is absolutely essential that we do this. And the one person that I think in all of this governor's gubernatorial race that can do this is Kathy Glosson. With our help and with us behind her, she will see that this happens. So, and we will see that this happens.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Awesome.
What do we want? 15 and a union. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? 15 and a union. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? 15 and a union. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 When I say Kathy, you say Glosson. Kathy. Glosson. Kathy. Glosson. When I say Kathy, you say Glosson. Kathy. Glosson. Kathy. Glosson. When I say 15, you say union. 15. Union. 15. Union.
Thank you everybody for coming. It's great to have you all here. Remember that we have to keep fighting every day. Muchas gracias a todos y todas por venir. Recuerden que debemos seguir luchando cada día. So,
Thanking people in
thank
Spanish
you and let's
for,
keep the fight.
And this
We'll be back. 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 We'll be back.
Sí se puede, sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Si se puede means you can use the translator as yes, we can, yes, you can.